Good afternoon, everyone. Ready for Evolution? Brother Eric Ture Muhammad here. Hope all is well with you and yours as I give this, what I considered or deemed a very important subject matter. So I'm asking that you all share naturally, and we'll get underway in just a moment. I want to thank you for your time and thank you for all the announcements that went forward to get this underway. And thank you so very much, Sister Kimberly Broomer. Kimberly Broomer, Ready for Evolution. Glad to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, family, if you can hear me well, just by all means, comment in the chat. We're just going to populate just a little longer, in a couple of seconds more. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Ready for Evolution. We're just allowing to populate a few seconds more and we'll get underway. Thank you so much. Let's get a feel for who was out there, please. Sister Kimberly, of course, Aul, Sister Velma Jackson Lewis, Brother Maurice D. Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum. Glad to see you, Aul family. Who else is all out here? Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, family, we're going to get started. We're going to get underway, of course. I'm, again, Brother Eric Ture Muhammad. I'm a wealth building coach. I'm a member of Carabas International as an independent affiliate, and I'm a student of Wealth Builders Worldwide. I'm also a revolutionary. That means that I've taken on the task to implement change. When dissatisfaction arises, where dissatisfaction has raised its head, where dissatisfaction has destabilized communities, households, environments, to the point where it's desirous of change, where change is a necessity. That's where I believe the skill set of which the Creator has blessed me with, as all of us have been blessed with the gift of a skill set. I believe I'm here to do my part in the liberation process. So with that being said, I want to talk to us about calm, how to calm the crisis from a primarily financial perspective. Hey, Brother Samuel, good to see you. Assalamu alaikum. All right, Sister Michelle English, Aul. So what do we know? Well, right now, the world is growing toward a rapid standstill. And this is not something that should be underestimated. This is something that should not be glossed over or overlooked as something that'll just pass. This is a very serious, serious undertaking. And I don't want anyone to be fooled by the admonition of media, of financial medias, of government institutions extending calm and extending it'll pass. This is something that just, it may pass, but not before it brings some hardship to society. So let's just look at this for a minute. We're talking about the impact of the coronavirus, now pandemic that the World Health Organization just declared a few short hours ago. And we want to discuss it from the perspective that will aid us and assist us in getting through. So there was a report that came out this morning. I'll give an overview of it. This is Brother Joseph Millard from LinkedIn. He's one of the frontline workers, news editors there. And he gave a summary of what he described as the dilemma. He said, as more and more companies tell workers to stay home amid the coronavirus outbreak, service workers from retail to restaurants remain on the front lines, often lacking paid sick leave, good health benefits, and an ability to work from home. Around 33 million American workers are without sick leave, the Wall Street Journal reports. A similar problem faces those workers who cannot work from home. Although some companies have improved sick leave and work from home policies, millions of Americans have few options. Now, this is a very serious thing to consider, okay? Because what you're looking at, there's a necessity of the government, of governments as well as big business, to restrict the spread of the coronavirus. The government needs to pull limits on commerce, put limits on commerce. What does this mean exactly? Well, the best way to protect people from their perspective and the economy is to limit economic activity. Now, when you're limiting economic activity, that means businesses are closing. That means general meetings, conventions, large concert shows, things are not happening because they have not figured out a way to stave off the spread amongst mass gatherings. So public health officials will need to impose quarantines. Businesses are canceling large meetings. The goal and responsibility of government and business is to ensure sick workers stay home. But this is a problem because more than 35%, at least 35% of retail workers alone do not have sick leave. 33 million Americans do not have sick leaves, and millions more do not have jobs. So where does the benefit kick in? How are they best assisted? You see, this will mean not forcing employees or workers to choose between penury. Penury means extreme poverty. Not to choose between extreme poverty and working while coughing, meaning there's something that has to be put in place by government, be it federal, of course, be it state, be it local. Something has to be put in place so that people aren't burdened with trying to figure out how to make a way financially when no way is being provided. There needs to be a level of assistance that is given, that is granted. Now, I'm sure that some are considering legislation that would produce some form of financial aid or some kind of health consideration where people could be seen, checked out, or whatever testings that are involved to stave off the spread of the coronavirus. But absent legislation, folks, they face a choice between endangering the health of coworkers and customers and calling in sick and losing their wages and perhaps also their jobs. Now, this is very hard. This is something to seriously consider. Now, I know some of you believe some of those reports about the job market being up, unemployment being down, the economy being much better, okay? That may be for some sectors of society, but for the general populace, that is altogether false. There's no way in the world that the millions of unemployed can all of a sudden have a job revival or an employment revival that staves or satisfies the needs or stabilizes the needs of each household. America's not built to do that. So what do we do? Do you remember just 1 year and 3 months ago, the 5-week government shutdown? Do you remember what it did to the economy? Do you remember what it did to the vulnerability? It exposed the vulnerability of the United States. $11 billion, really more closer to $18 billion was lost due to the shutdown, the work stoppage of federal workers. That was $18 billion alone. Okay. What happens now when you have a situation where it's not just government, where people cannot go to work because of uh, service providers being limited in they're limiting exposure for service providers, or limiting exposure for children who went in school, limiting exposure by teachers. What happens with all this? Let's just go back and take a look at the previous slide. Cashiers, bank tellers, hospital emergency rooms, convention centers, classrooms, the airport. Everybody has made some measure of provision to stop things from happening, hoping to get a grip on this, hoping to get a grasp. This is serious, family. This is serious. And it's not just something where you have a flu and you go home with the cold and you get over it. People are going back to their homes and they are dying. And now you have whole countries quarantining. You have countries placing borders. You have states in America that have borders surrounding them with medical and health provisions to quarantine or keep people from coming into the counties or different cities. We saw this kind of thing in 2000 with the loss of economy. We saw it again in 2008 with the loss of economy. We witnessed a glimpse of what would happen in 2019 with just a government shutdown alone. 5 weeks, $18 billion lost. Now, the World Health Organization, also known as WHO, just declared the coronavirus a pandemic. So there'll be more shutdowns, there'll be more restrictions, there'll be curfews in some major parts of the world. And again, absent legislation, they face a choice between endangering the health of co-workers and customers and calling in sick and losing their wages and perhaps also their jobs. There will be people trying to fake it all the way till they make it because they fear losing a paycheck. Because does that mean that the landlord will stop asking for their rent? Does it mean that the loans won't be called in on? What does it mean? Does it mean that the banking institutions will even allow you to get your money? This is where Carabal's International comes in, because we've been echoing with you now for the last 9 years that you have a way out and you have a way to stabilize the economy under your roof. You can now leverage the economy under your roof, and that opportunity still exists now. And for all of those who are being made to stay home, I'm in Georgia today. There's entire counties that are closed where children can't go to school. Who's to say that's going to change right away? We have an opportunity that you can immediately affect. Dr. Harold Sykes, the founder and visionary of Carabal's International, known as King of Gold, he offered a vision. And his vision clearly is to produce the highest quality gold available in the market, make it easily accessible to the masses of honest people around the world at a price point everyone can afford. My goal, he says, is that Carabal's helps millions find financial freedom from the current system of debt. And what we're sharing with you, family, that has been realized. Many of us do one simple thing. We save at least a gram of gold a month. Some of us can afford to do it weekly. Some of us can afford to do it bi-weekly, but we save it. And through our saving and encouraging others to save, it creates leverage inside the household, to the point that some of us don't even worry about a health benefit, because our benefit is the leverage we produce through the gold and its value. I just heard prior to coming onto this broadcast that yesterday, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has advised the world to store enough food and water to last for the next 3 months in your homes. Think about that, family, where the rest of the world is telling you, oh, we'll get by, get a couple of masks, go ahead and risk travel. Here's a man who's telling you, store enough food and water in your homes to last at least 3 months. This is serious. This is something that's not going away. And there are things that you need to do, that we need to do. This is not in panic. This is a plan. We need a plan. In Wealth Builders, we have that plan because we encourage everyone to save and pay themselves first. In our culture, we teach four key ways. We create residual income so it doesn't depend on us being outside of our homes. We accumulate appreciation assets so we're not worried about check to check living. We outrun inflation because we have the revenue by which we can maintain the products, goods, and services that we need, and we understand and maximize taxes in an overall, uh, from an overall perspective. Now, here's one of our senior partners in Wealth Builders Worldwide, Mr. Dalco, Michael L. Dalco. It's something he said that I thought was very significant and helps to lay the base for this discussion. He says, if you don't find out what real money is, you will work until you die. Well, money is a medium of exchange, but that medium of exchange must be backed by an asset in order to have the spending power necessary to match the needs warranted by products, goods, and services. So in his definition of money, he clearly helps you to understand that anything that's defined as money must be a store of value. It must store your labor. It must be worth as much or more in the future as it is today. Gold has that power and it's affordable to you. It's something you can have right now as we speak. And all it requires you is to look at the opportunity for what it is and see it as a means of fear escaping. I mean, escaping the fears, escaping the apprehensions, escaping the anxiety that's coupled with a system that is broken. This is a broken system, and we're offering you an opportunity to leverage yourself, even with the broken system. Leverage yourself to the point where you have a bridge that builds your opportunity, creates immediate security inside your household. Pay yourself first. Many Americans in the world, in the country rather, have less than $1,000 in savings. Can't even amass $200 a week because we've always been taught to pay everybody but ourselves. This system is one of debt. If you have a house note, that's a debt. If you have a car note, that is a debt. If you sign a promissory note for loans, that is a debt. If you carry cash in your pocket that says Federal Reserve note, I'm here to tell you, family, that is a debt. But you have a way of maneuvering through the society of debt and shoring yourself up with a pure asset because you pay yourself first by exchanging paper for gold. This is how we do it. We sign up for our free gold savings account, and once we satisfy the requirements that only takes a couple of minutes to satisfy, meaning a proof of identity and a proof of address, you can then start saving gold. You can save it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. You can save it in a 1 gram at a time, as many grams as you like, or you can save it in a fixed dollar amount that will equate to its value in pure gold. But this is what you do. And then it's saved inside of your own gold savings account that you control. You're leveraged with that account. And the commissions that are drawn from that account based off of the value of the gold and the cumulative deposits that not just by you, but it could be your spouse, it could be your children, 18 or older, it could be family and friends who found the way or understand that to save in gold is saving your future. Saving in gold now, gold will save you later. You see? And that's the power in this. You get as many people as you can to see the opportunity as you see it. And before you know it, you are reaping the benefit of having all your expenses possibly satisfied for the next 2 or 3 months to come. And you won't even have to leave outside of your doors. This is an opportunity that's available to you. So there is something that is said by Mr. J. Paul Getty. He says, when you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, by all means, try it. So we save in gold. How do we do it? We register for your no-cost Carabal's account and choose a business package. We complete what's known as KYCs, which is known as Know Your Customer, and set up the auto exchange that I just showed you previously. That's an auto save mechanism by which you don't even have to look at it, and you will be able to save as much gold as you desire weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And then you invite as many people as you can to repeat the first 2 steps. And that will put you on the road to not only leverage your household, but it can put you on the road to obtain massive wealth if that is your choice. It's a very simple process, family. And I'm here to tell you that simplicity creates duplication, and that duplication absolutely creates wealth. What are the advantages to a Carabal's International account? Quite simply put, it's a 9-year-old company operating in over 140 plus countries. Our products are delivered directly to your door via FedEx. All commissions are paid on a privately issued MasterCard. We have over 900,000 affiliates worldwide, and we have a complete support system where you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. If your business is to make sure that your family maintains a roof over their head, maintains a safe environment, maintains the opportunity to feed themselves, clothe themselves, maintains the ability to keep the power on, maintains the ability to do things online that will allow us not to go dumb or grow numb to not having access to general society. Well, we provide all that support for you through this opportunity. It costs you nothing to register. It costs you nothing to participate. All you're doing is exchanging the devalued paper for its pure value, accelerated value, exponentiated value in gold. There are no mandatory monthly fees or expenses involved with this. We're not a part of a broken system. We are a solution to the system that's broken. Look at us as shoelaces that eventually tie itself into a magnificent bow and allows you the opportunity to walk secure. We have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, multi-million-dollar software operating worldwide at no cost to you, and it's yours immediately once you register for your free gold savings account. And our product is what everyone is striving for, what the economy is collapsing as a result of. Our product is 24 karat, 999.9 pure gold. It's the grade of gold, LBMA certified, that settles debts in all societies. You have it in your hands now in small increments. It's a store of value. It will give you absolute leverage. And you deal in an economy now that does not understand that gold is the pure asset. When you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, by all means, folks, you should try it. So get back to the one that introduced Carabal's International to you and let him or her know that you are absolutely ready to get started. Be the David of your family. Prove yourself to be the servant Job. Okay? Visit www.therealmoney.info for a complete overview of the Carabal's opportunity. You have nothing to lose by trying, but you have nothing to gain if you don't. That's a brief overview of what we're experiencing. We are prayerful and hopeful that we can do all that we can, to stave off the loss of family, the loss of life. We don't want to see anything impeding the health and the progress of any being, any human being. We do understand, family, that we have an opportunity here, and that opportunity to secure ourselves in a way that will get us through this moment, this hour, and this crisis. And I want you to know that as you store your food, as you store your water, as you secure your home, as you spray down and wipe down all these conduits of bacteria, know that you have neighbors, people that you can share this opportunity with, and help them secure their household as well, so your community is a secure one, where people could be free from want, free from lack, and be less insecure. That's what I have for you today. That's what I wanted to share. It's a very simple solution, or part of a solution to a tremendous challenge in front of us. But you, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, family provider, parent, spouse, you have the opportunity right now to control the parameters under your roof. You have that opportunity right now to make sure that nothing is interrupted in the activity of your household, that everyone is safe, secure, and financially stable. So with that being said, I'm your brother and friend, Eric Ture Muhammad. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you. And I pray that you find some value in this message. Peace and power.